Test it. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. I was commentating to no one. Okay, so he's going to hit us with a maul there. So we could lightsaber Rey and hit into his base here. Even though we've got the Luke, I think we're best just to push the base and force him to have an answer to Rey here. So as I was saying, with these green-red units, they don't have much answers to... Okay, we'll pass. To a lightsabered unit, all they can do is sort of direct damage. So he may have to claim here. So if he claims... Do we have something in the row? No. I was hoping we had a... In the row, I was hoping we had a Hotshot Blaster. So let's play Kira. See what he's got in his hand. So he's got Palpatine, Great Dragon. What a hand that is. So, Devastator can't... I'm going to say Palpatine. All right, pass. Okay. All right, we'll get rid of the tech. It's going to do 4 damage. So I think the correct play here is to hit the... We could hit base for 3, but I think if we hit the base... If we hit the Devastator for 6, that forces him to have to make a choice here. If he attacks with Palpatine, we can just claim and finish off with Luke. So the audio should be back. Sorry about that. I restarted my computer recently, and sometimes in OBS it doesn't have the setting there. All right, so let's claim. All right, so we did get away. We have beat a Palpatine here. And he had an absolute gas of a hand when we sparked earlier on. It was like Devastators, Palpatines, Planetary Bombardment. Crazy. Look at how many cards he's drawn. Yep, yeah, I can hear me now, Mark. Yep, sorry about that. You can see the audio going out. All right. Is he just quit, or is he? Yeah. We may have shut it. He may have shut his browser, or maybe trying to work out if he can get around it. So just to recap for the new players here, I had a challenge on that from a friend who, in the baddest batch, a teammate, he was trying to build a Rey Yellow deck. So he put this one together, and then he asked me if it was any good. And then I said, well, let me try and build one, and we'll see if we can come to sort of consensus between the two lists. So that was his list. I then took that, made some changes, and now the list is looking like this. I wanted Chopper just because he's like a maniac in there. I wanted to try and get a lightsaber or something on him. Brought Ezra in, brought some Commandeers in, the other Emphys Nest, the Redemption instead of the Home One. All right, this Palpa's left. All right, so we start off 1-0 tonight. Last night we were playing Boba Data Vault, and we went, what do we go? We went 0-2 to start with, and then won the next 8 in a row. So that was pretty cool. Speaking of last night, I was talking about Hearthstone quite a bit. So I started Hearthstone back in 2012. I started playing it for about eight or so years. All right, this hand looks pretty good. We won't mulligan. We'll put our 2 smuggle items away. All right, let's put R2 down at the bottom, and then we'll put the chopper out as well. Okay, so he's going to come out with a falcon. We need our chopper here to do some work. I do like Plo Koon. I do like 3PO, and I do like the Spark. Here, is it worth resourcing Luke? I think so, with that far away from it. Now, the decision here is, do I just Spark and knock out whatever he's got for the 3rd drop, or do I risk it with Chopper? Because if Chopper hits, he discards a card. If it's an event, exhausts it, and it could just brick his turn as well. Don't think we can risk that. So let's Spark, and let's take this Han out. So he's still going to be able to hit us with the other Falcon. And that was a mistake, because if Chopper hits here, then he's going to be down to 2 resources. What do we discard? A Han. All right, let's give an experience to R2. All right, let's hit into base. It's another C3PO. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Let's put C3PO away. We're getting hit quite a bit in space at the moment. We need something like an entrenched. A commandeer would be great as well. Now, he is paying the extra 1 for the Falcon here. So let's see if he decides to keep it or not. He does. So let's hit base with Chopper. We did get the event that time. All right, let's hit with R2. It's a tech. We'll keep that on top. We'll drop C3PO down. We'll say tech. And then we will give an experience to the chopper. Okay, let's pass. Okay, so this time he's put the Falcon back in his hand. All right, let's hit with Chopper. Try and get another event. We did. So you can see he's gone down to 5-6 now. So Chopper putting in work. The Ahsoka's good. Very good to discard a hand, especially on Han here. All right, let's say 4. We really need our Rey out here. He's got us in a bit of a bind here. So I think we're going to have to go the other option, which is put an XP on one of our units and try and hit Ahsoka to brick Han. Discard his last card. It is a U-Wing, so we kind of missed out on that one. We haven't had any of our anti-Sentinel tech here, or anti-ship. So we're kind of just behind. We can Plo Koon here, but it is going to be too little too late. We just don't have the restore that we have in the Rey Data Vault. Yeah, we cannot. Yep. So 2 Falcons in the space lane was just a bit too much for us there. So 1-1. So looking back at our list, we are correct. We don't have any space. We had the Waylays, which we never saw. We had the Entrench, which we never saw. And then we got the Commandeer. Do we put in the Concords? We even had redemptions in that later. We'll see how it goes. If we keep losing the space, we will change it up. Speaking of space, there's a a space deck here that will put us to the test. All right, okay. We will mulligan. Let's see. All right, so we don't have initiative, so Spark is not as great. Okay, Entrenched is good. We want to keep C-3PO. Don't think we need the Protectors. We keep Kira. I think we have to keep the Fel. All right, let's drop the C-3PO and see if we can draw some cards. We miss. Hot Shot can go in the row. This is where we need like a disruptive burst or something here. So far, it looks like similar to the Rey Green that we are. Kind of weak in space. All right, so let's say 3. So we hit Commandeer this time. All right, so let's Spark. Make sure he hasn't got a Capture. So he's got a Bowshek. So let's get rid of the Bowshek here because he would draw a few cards. All right, let's give an experience to 3PO. Yeah, I don't think we have an answer for this many units, unfortunately. Because we do not have Blue Leader in this deck. We do have access to Falcon and Concorde, so maybe we do need to look at putting those two in this list. That's it, base. All right, so it's a Kira. All right, let's discard his hand. Get rid of that one. All right, so we have to claim. Get rid of Kira. So what are our options here? Do we Fel? We Commandeer? We have to get rid of that one. So I think we just Fel it. All right, he'll capture. Let's play R2. Put that on the bottom. I'm going to cop a whole bunch of damage again. This is where we need like a burst or something here. We just don't have the restore that we do in the Data Vault version. All right, let's Village Protectors away. Let's hit with R2. Okay, we've got a redemption, but I don't think we're going to get there. All right, so let's deploy Rey. He's going to barrage with Vader. It's okay. All right, so let's entrench. A disruptive burst would be magic here. Unfortunately, we're not going to make it. So he's got too much damage on the field. So let's see if we can make some changes. Okay, so it's no good against space at the moment. So let's make some changes. So I'm looking at village protectors in this list specifically because we already really control the ground. So maybe we don't even need the village protectors here. So let's try the Concord Dawn interceptors. It'll give us something. What else? Ezra seems good. Maybe we only need 2 of each of those. We've got the Millennium Falcon. Maybe 1 redemption. All right, let's try that. We've bolstered it up with a little bit more space. Let's see if that makes a difference. So we are 1, 2. We're kind of a live deck building as we go here. It's just so many cards. Like when you're building the data decks now and there's 60 cards, you can kind of throw in a bunch of extra stuff, but 50 cards feels like not enough. All right, we've had 2 Palpatines and 2 space decks. So not a great matchup mix for Rey, really. All right, so we won't need Concords here. Let's get rid of the Waylay. All right, okay, Jedi Lightsaber is pretty good against these colors specifically. We could get the R2 with a lightsaber. I think we get rid of Kira. Maybe it's better to play Ezra out here. All right, put the tech on the bottom. Maybe we can trim a tech off as well. Let's pass. If we lose 1 spark, he's going to have plenty of resources to pick from. So he decided to attack rather than draw. Normally a pout player would draw here. So is he setting us up for something? Let's put a lightsaber on Ezra. Wow, we messed that up so bad. How did we not see that? All right. I don't think we're winning this one now. He can just clear us out. I think we just concede this one against the power. I don't think we're learning too much more on that one, unfortunately. All right, 1-3. Can we get some matchups that aren't aren't horrible for Rey. I'm not playing Palpatine Lake Country again. Played 3 Palps in a row. All right, best of 3. Sure, why not? Which one? Obi-Wan or let's go the Han. Test out our space. Oh. All right. All right, let's mulligan. Okay, so Tech can go in the row. We've got our Sentinel this time and probably Kira. All right, so let's go C-3PO. Do we get a draw? No. Okay, we've at least got our Concorde now. Kind of miss Bright Hope, to be honest. All right, 3 indirect. We'll go 2 in a base, 1 into 3PO. We'll hit with 3PO, we'll say 3 again. Okay, let's drop the interceptors. Let's keep the redemption. Not an ideal hand because we want to start giving experience to some of these units. All right, well, open fire. All right, let's play Ahsoka and try and tap one of these. Commandeer seems decent. We know we're going to draw that next turn. Plo Koon, well, I don't think he's going on the ground. So hopefully he can play us, give us like a Fet's Fire Spray, something like that. All this indirect damage is annoying to like keep clicking away. All right, let's try and draw. I haven't needed anything on those draws. Quite a few 3s. All right, this seems like a really good commandeer for us. We'll take that, kill his TIE bomber, and send it back to his hand. All right, we've got R2, so hopefully we're going to get a draw here. He doesn't play a Ruthless Raider. There we go. All right, let's play R2. Waylay, we'll put on the bottom. See, if I had a entrenched here, he just gets completely punished for that move. Actually would have deployed Boba Fett to the ground. Took my chances there. All right, we've got a couple of Lukes. And we've got our full resource row open to us. Alright, let's just claim. We'll heal our base, and we'll heal it for... We just heal it for 8. He has a Devastator. We couldn't have. We might as well just heal the whole lot like we did. He has a Ruthless Raider. It's probably the only way we really get punished here. Also have the Entrenched now. Maybe we should have just entrenched that. Alright, let's get into base. Why wouldn't he have done that on the redemption and just kind of like saved himself? Alright, we'll claim. Probably don't need... Falcon if we're going to entrench that Raider. We could play Amphi's Nest and just bounce the other Raider. Seems pretty good. Have to cop the 8. Alright, the Devastator. Alright, I have to claim. I have a double entrenched. So we'll have to fell the Devastator. I'll have to hit him for 3. He has any kind of 2 damage here. Yeah. Well, I don't think this deck is very good at all. Let's switch something. Let's switch up. So let's have some... What do we want to play last? Anakin Data Vault we were on. All right, let's reset the score. All right, so Anakin Data Vault was one of the ones I think that won a PQ last weekend. So we wanted to sort of give it a go. And this one of those decks which doesn't have much space by the looks of it. A Marine in a Sabine is a good start. He's going to have to trade or take the additional... take the loss here, take the unfair trade. So, do we need a Tantive late? No, let's keep our options open here. It's got to hit the Marine. Okay, so we'll play a Peacekeeper. Alright, and we will claim here. We'll jump in to pilot it. Get rid of the Cham. I don't know if he has the resupplies in that here. Let's hit him for 3. Wow, he claimed and didn't even use any of his resources here. So this deck list for people that are following along, I will put in the chat. This one here. Boba Green slays at the moment, yeah. Yep, we played a bit of Boba Green last night. That is an odd play. That must be all he had, because I can just trade up into that with K2. We'll make him discard. And we will play our own Poe Dameron down. Now take captive in the same arena. All right, let's get rid of the Marine. We've also got Anakin coming out this turn, and we can put a General's Blade. He's on green-red. He's not going to have much to answer that. All right, we're just waiting on him, or is it frozen up? No, we're still waiting. He might have quit. Yeah, it was an odd play the turn before where he had played the Poe out straight into a K2 that could trade up. Let's see what else is in this deck. So with some timelies, we've got the usual suspects in the early drops. We've got the blue leader, 3 Fang Fighters is interesting. A couple of take captives, the open fire, the General's Blade, the Cham in the main, and then some pretty solid top end with K2, Poe, the Marauder for extra sort of resourcing and an ambush unit space, Wrecker, and the Tantive. All right, so he's disconnected. We'll count that as a win. And look for another game. All right, Boba Dadavol, are we going to have vengeance? All right, pretty decent. Like to mulligan. No, we've got an open fire in case they have a bomber or something first turn. Got C3PO, potentially try and get us some card draw. I assume 3 is the most prevalent. Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right, let's put down the fighters and Sabine. We'll drop C3PO, we'll say 3. It's Anakin's Interceptor. And then we'll claim. We should be able to trade into this. That's fine. He's wasted a card. And we've effectively 2 for 1 on that one. Anakin's Interceptor. Right, let's resource that. We'll play the blue leader up in space. Unless we can get a good 3 out of this one. We must be due. It's Wrecker. Okay, it's going to pass. Open fire. Okay. Let's put Wrecker in the row. To drop a defender, might do a Fet's Fire Spray. Open fire. Okay. Well, we can't make anything stick at the moment, so why not try 2 units? We'll go C3PO. We'll draw a Peacekeeper. We do have a 3PO in the row, so next turn we should be able to our problem here is at the moment, this gunship is going to cause us problems. So I can open fire it. But he's going to drop that down, which is a 4/4, which is going to be too strong for our Marauder. I'll just claim here. I will get a ramp. Do I have anything in this deck that can... Do I have a Fang Fighter? So deal indirect damage equal to the number of vehicles units you control. All right, let's go with that. He's going to have 10 health. If it had been 8 health, we would have been able to do something about that. As it is, we've got 2 open fires. Let's get rid of the fighters. Well, he doesn't. That's interesting. All right, so let's run in. We'll pick C-3PO, and that'll give us the extra ramp that we want. All right, we will trade up into Boba. We'll say 3. The blue leader's really good. All right, he's going to barrage. All right, sit in a base for 6. Let's get rid of the Echo base. The blue leader can run in. Yeah, it's a tough deck, this Boba Fett deck. Let's get rid of an open fire. Hey, we're just getting murdered by this deck. We've got all these resources, but like you look at this and it's like, yes, take captive. All right, claim. Yeah, well, we can get rid of them all, but if he has anything for anything to get rid of this Fang Fighter, we're in trouble. It's just so much damage when we're unable to get a foothold. That barrage when he hit the off his Boba Fett was huge. The grenade strike there now. Yeah, let's finish up that one. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure if this Anakin deck is the one. Is the one for me. Maybe we just get some Rey practice while we're here. Actually, well, there was a best of 3 there. Is it still there? No. Let's go best of 3 with our Rey deck that we're practicing for the PQ. Let's go back to 0-0. All right, Anakin, Colossus. Well, that's not a good hand. That's not either, but at least we can pick up the Clone Deserter, hopefully. All right, let's get rid of the tech. Home 1. All right, let's give an experience. Gonna be able to trade up, but that's okay. We hit the spark, which is good. So if we spark, it means we're going to be on 4 and then 5. Let's put the Bright Hope away. Trades up. Does he get a double card draw? He does. Kind of sucks. But we'll spark. All right, we'll claim. Let's get rid of Akbar. We just go straight into tech and give it an experience. I think so. Let's just go for a bit of card advantage. 3/6 is pretty hard to get rid of. Give us access to our row pretty early on. We will claim here. All right, the Admiral we can get rid of. So Tech is going to have to kill Quill. Then depends what order he's going to attack up here. Let's kill Quill. All right, so that kind of worked out pretty good for us. So we'll ambush first. And then pay 2 experience to go down on the ground. Let's deploy Rey. We'll get some experience. All right, let's pass. Okay. .3PO in the row for now. Going to trade up. What's he going to trade up and kill Rey? All right, we'll get Tech to kill there. All right, so we can Bright Hope Tech here. And then we can drop the Village Protectors for Anakin. All right, let's drop the Village Protectors down. Yeah, so it looks like I can't really play anything other than Blue Heroic at the moment. Blue Heroic seems to work for me. A lot of the other decks kind of struggled a bit. All right, so he's going to claim initiative. We can pass. We'll put Tech down in a row again. And have a big timely later on against this player. We're going to look for our choose sides as well. Okay, let's go with... Let's go with an experience on the Village Protectors. All right, well, if we're going to play that game, then let's just entrench the Village Protectors. We're going to get a free kill on Kanan, basically. And then we'll just pull Tech out again, and then R2. All right, then pass. Let's get rid of the Deserter. All right, well, let's drop Anakin to a 0/1. He's only got 2 mana left here. Right, so he's going to claim. So we'll get R2 to run in here. Entrenched. I'll put that on the bottom. Give an XP to our tech. And then hit his base for 3. Kind of expecting a Crate Dragon to drop out soon. It's an Obi-Wan. Okay, well. Just hit him for 6. So playing a timely will get 4 X-Wings. Then we can Akbar over the top here. This is the best of 3 that we're playing against this Anakin Colossus. He's deciding where to put his XP. Right, so we are now on Rey Green, Rey Dartavolt. All right, so let's drop the timely here. And then what we can do is play a Akbar out of our row here. So the good thing about tech is you just... Well, do we keep playing that here? No, I don't think so. I think we kill that that tech. We don't want him playing out of his row like we are. All right, let's get onto the base. Concord. It's okay, but I want to choose sides. We can wrap this game up if we hit a choose sides here. Got to keep the Spark of Hope in hand in case he kills the tech or the Luke. All right, so he's going to hit into base for that. I'm going to play an Akbar, and I'm going to choose the Space Arena, which I've got 4 X-Wings to kill that Concord. All right, so I'm going to kill the Poe Dameron with Luke. Then I'm going to Spark of Hope the Luke. I've really got 4 mana here. All right, the blue leader will take out the Cassian. All right, Spark of Hope will bring back Luke. We'll then hit his base with R2. We'll leave the Luke on top. And then we will play C-3PO and we'll say 7. That was dumb. You see what happened there? I left it on top, then I resourced it. I smuggled out the C-3PO, which then put the Luke into the row, so you can see the Luke's there. So that was dumb. But we've got a tech, so we've kind of still got access to it. All right. He's considered both. So he didn't want to play the second game. Let's find a game. Another best of 3. So if you can control your hand with options and that with Rey, this will be a hard matchup. It's the Rey Yellow, but we have got Disruptive Burst and that in the side that we may be able to use. We won't mulligan. A Spark of Hope and the Akbar. I'm going to put the Clone Deserter up. Then I'm going to resupply it for the Fleet Admiral. He has to attack with the patrollers first. If he doesn't, I may entrench it here. Yeah. Well. Okay, well, let's just entrench the patrollers there. Stop the generation, and blue leader will leave on top. I'll get rid of the fleet lieutenant. All right, so blue leader we will run in. We'll give an XP to R2. And entrenched or something. No, timely's good. All right, let's claim. Ugh, that's not good. That is not good at all. All right. Do we just timely here? Was kind of hoping to get Rey out. I think we have to timely potentially next turn. We entrench that. We just have no option for Vader. I think we do have to just entrench it. We stop the generation of TIE fighters, at least. He'll only be able to hit us with those two. And again, he gets the clone deserters. Put that on bottom. Well, at least, hopefully, we'll be able to try out our disruptive burst. I think the clone deserters was a mistake in this game. He's captured it a couple of times. Right hope. Or a fell. Let's get rid of the fell. We're really behind the 8-ball in this matchup, unfortunately. He's going to clear 1, 2, and 3, 4. Let's just move to next game. I think we messed up on that one. This game. We'll sideboard. So I've got a little bit of a sideboard for Rey Yellow. It's probably one of the worst matchups that we've got. Don't like the clone deserters in here. Choose sides can go, so we need timely. We need confiscates. Okay, probably not getting to our techs. And our choose sides. Maybe even our right, what have we got here? We've got C3PO, we've got Akbar, Trench, Confiscate. Let's try for Blue Leader. No, we didn't hit it. But we did hit Traitorous, so let's get rid of U-Wing and we'll go Mon Mothma, resupply, and then Traitorous. Yes, Entrench does buff their units for an overwhelming barrage. Correct. All right, Blue Leader is really good. So we brought our tech in now. All right, so let's claim. Let's get rid of Akbar. Now, do we just blue leader? I think we just blue leader here, and we just keep their space lane under control. Right, let's claim. Let's get rid of 3PO. Let's drop 2 here. Resupply. Let's hit in a base for 1. And claim. All right, let's get rid of the resupply there. Let's traitorous their Sentinel. Got to try and stop the production here of TIE fighters. He's moved with surprise strike. Okay, let's give an experience to Mon Mothma. Let's hit into base with R2. We're trying to look for our disruptive burst. Luke's okay. Luke's okay there. I don't want... do I care if Vader's on that? No, I'm going to entrench it. So I think I'm okay with that. All right, let's pass. Protectors can go. All right, Vader will come out onto the lurking tie, I would say. Doesn't. All right, so let's hit. Let's hit with Rey. Use Luke on the link. Yeah, potentially. I can use Luke on it. The other option was to entrench entrench it, but yeah, I think I will use the Luke now. I think we just get too much restore out. All right, let's hit him with R2. Where's our disruptive burst? That's okay. The timely. He forgot to resource. Oh, okay. I was wondering why he didn't put Vader out. Why did he concede both matches then? I thought we would have had a third. I really wanted to test out the sideboard on that match. All right, let's go for another best of 3. So we've got disruptive bursts in the side. Got confiscates. An Admiral Trench. Okay, well, this is going to be an interesting game. All right, he dropped Han Data Vault. This should be interesting. Han 2. All right, so we won't mulligan. Question is, do they have Cham? Home 1 can go Protectors. Do they have Cham in their... do they normally run it in their deck in pre-sideboard? That is a question here. 1, 2. Yeah, a lot of them do. Looks like he's got a bad hand. All right, let's R2. Let's see what he's got. I'm going to keep that entrenched. Let's pass. Mon Mothma's good. Fleet Lieutenant, I'm going to drop now that I do have an entrenched as well. I want to potentially play the Mon Mothma. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to give an XP to R2. Right, I'll play the Mon Mothma out. Got a C3PO, which is good. We'll hit his base for 3. Put the Clone Deserter on bottom. Yeah, this deck typically doesn't have too much space, so I'm happy just putting the Interceptors in the row for the moment. All right, let's give an XP to Mon Mothma. He's getting a bit of deck filtering from R2. Are we too concerned about that? Base for 3. All right, let's keep that on top. We'll run Mon Mothma into R2, and what do we do here? I'm too worried about Cham at this stage. Let's stop his card draw. He's card filtering. We do have a decent play in resupply and entrenched or resupply in C3PO here. Right, that tells me he's got a blue leader here. So what I'm going to do is an entrench the R2. And let him try and blue leader. No, not blue leader. Hammerhead it looks like. Okay. Well, let's resupply then. Deploy Rey. Kind of holding him hostage a little bit here. Let's get rid of the Admiral. So we, for those just joining, we did try Rey Yellow for a little while. We sucked at it, and I think we went like 1-4, and then we just swapped it up now to back into Rey Data Vault. We did try building a Rey Yellow, but it didn't. We just kept hitting space decks and Palpatine decks, and did not go too well. We've got R2 here holding him hostage. And these green-red colors, they typically don't have too much removal that the blue does. All they've got is like direct damage stuff like the hammerheads and that. Is Over taken a long time or he's quit? Yeah. Like he's quit. It was meant to be a best of 3 as well. All right, let's go into the Piet Blue, which is not a great matchup, but let's just try and play lots of small units. Hopefully get like a good choose sides or something. All right, that's no good. We got no first turn play. All right, so we have to keep the... Let's get rid of Akbar. We have to kind of keep the fells. We really can't lose them in this matchup. Fleet Admiral is decent, especially if he has a Pershing. I'm going to claim because I'm going to play the Fleet Admiral out here. Let's get rid of the Concorde. We can give the Fleet Admiral, we can give the XP to R2. We can give another XP to R2 and then hit in. All right, let's drop the Fleet Admiral. So the Fleet Admiral, anytime your opponent draws a card, you can give an XP token to a unit. Give another XP to R2. What's he got? Power? No. Pike Sentinel. Another Admiral. Okay. Top target. All right, we will claim. Because we know we have another Fleet Admiral. That means we're going to get 2 XP. Let's give one to that Fleet Admiral and let's give 2. Let's hit into Pershing, finish him off. It's a home one. Let's put that on bottom. Right, he's got an Inferno. We'll then hit for 4 with our Admiral. Really need some kind of card draw. Like we've been doing filtering, but not too much card draw there. All right, I like the shield on the protectors, even though the Sundari might be a little bit better. No, we might be able to pump the Sundari up. All right, what's Piet going to drop out on us here? Okay, he's going to drop a resupply carrier. All right, let's see what Mon Mothma can deliver us. Well, Akbar is kind of nice in the sense that if Piet does come out, we can hit it. So let's go with that. We are hitting for 3, 7, 8, 9. Put that on bottom. Is he going to drop Piet out here? If he does, we'll drop Akbar and then run this Admiral with the 1/4/1 in. He doesn't, so let's run everything into his base and put the Peacekeeper out. So he's going to be at 7 resources, so he's going to be able to drop an Avenger if he comes out. Okay, he's going to hit us with a barrage. It's not too bad. I'd rather he barrage with that kind of board than some of the ones later. The top target he'll hit with R2. So he'll get back Is it 6 health or 5 health? 6 health. Since it's unique. All right, so let's deploy Rey. And Peacekeeper. So we're going to hit for 7. All right, let's push all of this damage now. All right, Akbar hits for 7. Hopefully he doesn't have a super laser blast. I'm going to hit for 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 here. So he's going to be on 20. We don't have a tech in our row. Please don't have a super laser blast. Vigilance, that's fine. What's he getting rid of? Mon Mothma? Right, let's rail hit in for 3. Don't think it's going to be enough unless you can stop it. It's the problem with Piet. I played it a lot in the early set, and it's like if it can be super strong if you get your draw in order in terms of ramp, big ship, and then play Turbo Laser Blast or an Overwhelming Barrage. But if you don't get them, there's not much you can play around with. It's very sequential deck. And that's why, even though I have the showcase, I was like, nah, it's too boring for me, that deck. All right, so we can change our deck now. So choose sides is good. We want to take out our clone deserters. We want to put in regional governors. Is timely any good? Potentially. We take out 1 tech. It's going to be a little bit grindy like that. So let's... one more time, we'll take out a Concord. All right, let's go with that. Do we mulligan here? We don't have any ramp. We've got entrenched on R2. Is not the best in this matchup with powers and that, so let's see what else we get. Okay, we got a season Fleet Admiral again. It was super strong, that last one. Traitorous is not the best in this matchup. And let's take entrenched out for now. All right, what's he going to call? All right, well, he got us. He got us there. All right, let's ditch the Fleet Admiral. We'll resupply. I wish I'd kept the Traitorous now because he's most likely going to play Super Laser Tech out next. Or a resupply. All right, let's claim. So I'm going to drop the governor. I'm going to say resupply carrier. Okay. Right, let's drop R2. Yoda. Is Yoda any good? Probably not. Right, let's put an experience on the governor. Right, Spark of Hope is decent. So is Akbar. I think we just resourced the home one here. Right, so we can shoot the Delmico. Piet's going to come out. Do an experience to R2. Right, let's finish off Piet. Let's put home one on bottom. Right. Couple of choose sides. I don't think we need Spark of Hope now. I think probably choose sides is going to be more beneficial. We've got a Mon Mothma. Right, he's going to Rivals. I think we're okay with that. Let's hit base. See what we got is a Bright Hope. All right, let's put that on top. We can go Mon Mothma, get the Bright Hope. We can then pick up R2 and then drop R2 back down. Leave Luke on top and we'll just hit into base. Kind of need a small unit for this choose sides. Maybe we should have kept the R2. We just have to be careful we don't get hit by Arquidin as well here. Alright. Super Laser Blast. Didn't see that last game. We just drop a Luke here. Would have preferred a small unit or attack or something like that to help rebuild. But didn't work out that way. Home one into Mon Mothma is decent. Merciless, okay. Alright, into Mon Mothma. And we don't hit anything. It happens. There's a certain amount of rebels in that in the deck. And yeah, sometimes you miss. Alright, let's claim. He's going to try and mill. We're on the same amount of life total. He's going to try and mill. Like, guess he didn't really have any other option, but right, so we've got a spark, which is good. Let's hit his base for 7. We could be hit by an Avenger or something here. An Arquidin, that sucks. Alright, so let's chop that one. We can't even play our spark because it's in the row. It's in his row, not our row. Alright, let's leave that for now. Not resource anymore. Okay, so he's going to hit us with an Avenger. So let's play Village Protectors and do a trade. Was that the right? I don't know if that was the right option. I think we could have even failed and then ran into Piet with a blue leader there. All right, let's take C3PO. Say 3. We'll draw the resupply. We'll run the blue leader into the protectors. And we'll hit the Avenger with the fell. You got now Devastator, Barrage. Okay. All right, let's give an XP to 3PO, or let's give an XP. It'll force the village protectors in. Another barrage. Wow, okay. Well, I think we should just spark. We'll bring the blue leader back in. All right, we'll drop the R2. That on bottom. We can also then drop our tech on the field. All right, and then pass. Okay, that's a very good timely. All right, he's going to Rivals Fall. 1 XP to R2. Okay, well, how about that then? We do have another tech we can play out. All right, let's claim. Complete the turn in the row. Play home 1. Then into Luke. Hit the village protectors there. Let's put 2 on the Piet. All right, let's see what he's got for us next. We've got a couple of more Mothmas. We've got U-Wings. Got to choose sides. Have to kill this Piet. We have to take this Pershing. We may end up trading a sit here. All right, he's going to hit us with the Avenger. Here's a card. All right, let's take the Pershing. And then play a Mon Mothma. Take the Avenger back. We'll take the blue leader. We'll choose sides. You can have a Mon Mothma and we'll have the Avenger. And then we'll just pass. He's going to mill us again. No, defeat. All right. Well, let's hit into his base. Kill more Mothma. Merciless, you can have the Pershing. All right, and we just claim. So it was a grind, but we got there 2-0 against the Piet Blue just by grinding lots of small units. All right, 5-1 with Rey Data Vault. All right, one more best of 3, and we'll pack it up for the night then. Lando Red. I haven't played Lando since like the start of the set. Got to watch out for lots and lots of shields here. Like a very good hand here. We'll just resource both techs. Akbar. Is Akbar any good? I think it's good in this deck, in this matchup specifically, because you're going to have lots of shields and Akbar can do that little ping damage over the top. Let's get rid of the village protectors. Right, well, sure you can have a shield. All right, I'm going to just pop that shield off. That on the bottom. We'll resupply. Let's just keep it moving up. Let's get rid of protectors again. Not enough to kill our R2. Be 3 damage. Okay, well, he's not going to go there anyway. Let's hit into R2. The Yoda. Yoda can go on top. All right, let's drop this one down. We'll go draw Yoda. And then Akbar will, let's say, ping R2 there. Wow, we're getting lots of resupplies in that here. Okay. All right. Well, let's drop in over one of the top of these fleet lieutenants. We'll give an XP to R2. R2 will kill this fleet lieutenant. We'll leave that one on top. We'll do 1 damage here. Say 3. We'll drop out Rey. Rey will finish off that fleet lieutenant. And then we'll also drop a Concord Dawn out here. And pass. When your own Avenger destroys you, exactly. Yeah, that's choose sides so good. I didn't have it in my list and that to start with Rey Data Vault, and now it's a staple. Bright Hope, is that any good here? Versus the Yoda. Or the Traitorous. Let's get rid of the Traitorous. We can always try and play it out of our row later. We've got 2 techs in our row there. Traitorous. All right, take down. So he's took down Rey. All right, let's Ewing reinforcement then. And we will just Luke his X-Wing there. All right, let's get moving through. We'll take a resupply. The 3 Akbar will hit, and then our Concorde will hit. Right, we'll put resupply away. Thing with Lando, all you got to do is keep their units down. Kind of negates their ability when you keep them down. Luke will finish off Lando here with the Fleet Lieutenant. Okay, you'll come back with the Luke. We know we've got the Fell the Dragon for it, so blue leader. We'll say 3. We'll fell Luke. We'll give an XP to Concorde and just keep tapping away. All right, Mon Mothma we don't need. Right, it's going to hit us again. Nothing's died, so he needs to pick something that's, a lot smaller like that. All right, so we'll Ewing him back then. We'll get our Luke back. Right, let's give an XP to C-3PO. Hit in, we'll say 3 again. No, it's a home 1. All right, he's on 20. Just 10 to go now. Let's put Yoda into the row. Going to fell our Luke. Let's keep tapping away. We'll say 3 again. To R2. Bit laggy now. He might be lagged as well. Sometimes I think the socket drops. Steal a Guerrera. Don't have much in the row. Thought we would have had more than that. Can't play. We had a Fleet Lieutenant. We could have ended the game on that last one. As it is, I don't think he gets out of this. Let's play a blue leader. He's going to daring raid, probably 3PO, I'd say. No, Akbar. All right. Next game. All right, so it's 6-1. This is the last best of 3 that we're going to do tonight. So what I would do here is take out the clone deserters and put in regional governors. All right, pretty good hand to start with again. We won't mulligan. We'll go home one to the row and the Concord. Right, we'll play down R2. We'll put that on the bottom. Give an XP to R2 again. Now, depending what he does here, if he puts the shield on the ground unit, we can kill the arc. Okay, so he goes for the pump. Yes, the title does say Rey Yellow, but I see Rey Dartavolt. So we started on Rey Yellow. We went 1-4 and sucked at it. Tried to build a deck and it kind of didn't work. So here we are. We are now playing Rey Dartavolt. So I have a PQ in 2 days. I got distracted then. Did I put that back on top? Right, let's give another experience to R2. Fleet Lieutenant's good. Blue Leader can go to the row. Entrench would have been really good. I should have kept that on top. Oh, okay. Well, Traitorous might even be better. All right, let's hit in then. Take one of the shields off. We'll say... Sorry, not paying attention there. Let's give an experience to 3PO. Drop a Mon Mothma out. We will say Akbar. And it means we've also lost the Traitorous. We've had 2 opportunities to get rid of this arc, but I was not fully paying attention there. All right, let's take the shield off. All right, let's hit in again. Let's keep these on that top this time. All right, we'll say 3. Okay, we'll clear off the Stealer. And pass. Right, we need to start clawing back some health here. All right, let's hit with Mon Mothma. We will Akbar the Fleet Lieutenant. Run into his base with R2. We'll leave that on top. Hit again. We'll say 7. We'll drop a Interceptors. We'll deploy and hit for 3. Okay. Where's he going to deploy to here? We do have a choose sides. All right, let's hit into Lando for 5 there. See what he does. All right, let's choose sides. Give him Akbar. We'll take that one. Oh, what happened then? Oh, he felt it. Okay. Right, we'll clear the board. We made a lot of mistakes in this game. Had plenty of opportunities to get rid of that that big ship at the start. All right, let's claim. All right, let's hit the base again. We'll give an XP to the interceptors so that Red 5 can't kill it too easily. They'll both have to trade. All right, let's hit base for 3. Mon Mothma. Put on bottom. Okay, if he heals too much here, we'll just Luke. Wow, so much choice. There's so much choice in this deck. It's insane. All right, let's hit his base for 3. Put that on the bottom. All right, so let's Spark of Hope. We'll put Luke back in the row. And then we'll bring out Tech and give Tech an XP. Well, maybe not. Let's kill that ship up there. Right, Angry Mace. Cool. All right, well, we'll kill Mace off then. Okay, we will play a Tech. Get access to the full row, even though we've got plenty of cards in our hand. We're just going to play from the row. It's Bright Hope Luke. Bring him back. And give an XP to Tech. Like if we did that, that would have killed Luke. Let's hit base for 3. Let's have a look in our rows, see what we've got. We can play a home 1 out. We can play a Luke. Ewing reinforcements. Let's go with that. No blue leader. So we'll go Mon Mothma, Fleet Admiral, and Village Protectors. We'll take a. We've already got a Bright Hope, so let's take a. Already got a home 1. Let's just entrench that and then see how it goes. All right, let's hit in base for 3. That's a stop Bright Hope here, or it's game over. Yep. All right, 2-0 against the Lando right at the end there. There we go. So that'll finish up tonight. 7-1. We went 1-4 with Rey Yellow. We think we played 1-1 with Anakin Dartavolt, and then swapped over to Rey and went 7-1. So Rey Dartavolt has to be one of the top decks in the meta at the moment. It is so good. So that's the list there. That's the list that at the moment I'm going to take to Adelaide this weekend for the PQ. And then the following weekend, I have got another PQ in Sydney. And this one here, you can vote for which deck I'm going to play. So if you go to the posts, here we can see 68 votes have been lodged. And it looks like I'm playing Trench Dartavolt at this time. So I've already got my buy today too as a previous PQ winner. So I don't really care what I play at that one. That is my local PQ. And yeah, let's give Trench Dartavolt a go. I've got some videos already where I played Trench Dartavolt. And yeah, let's see how many wins I can get with it. There it is, Trench Green. I went 9-2 on stream, so I'll be happy if I can do that on the day. But we shall see. There's a lot more competition than just playing online. So, all right. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in.